What if I told you there's a type of sound you can't hear, but your brain still reacts to it? You wouldn't even notice it. It's not loud. It's not piercing. It just quietly exists. And then it might be silently changing the way you think, feel, even how you sleep. It's called infrasound, low-frequency sound below 20 hertz. It's used in submarines, created by volcanoes, and even your fridge might be producing it right now. But here's the shocking part. These sounds have been linked to feelings of anxiety, hallucinations, even overwhelming fear. So how can something you can't even hear control your brain? Let's find out. Imagine this. You're standing in a completely silent room. No voices, no music, not even the hum of a fan. But somehow you feel uneasy. Your heart beats faster. There's a vague sense of discomfort you can't quite explain. What if I told you there is a sound around you? You just can't hear it? Welcome to the world of low-frequency sound, also known as infrasound. These are sound vibrations below 20 hertz, lower than what the human ear can detect. Technically, you can't hear them, but your body can. Your muscles, your organs, even your brain, all feel these frequencies on a subconscious level. And here's the thing, infrasound isn't rare. In fact, it's everywhere, hiding in both nature and modern technology. When an earthquake strikes, seismic waves generate infrasound that travels through the ground and air, arriving before the shaking even begins. When thunder crashes, the boom doesn't just stop at boom. It releases low-frequency waves that ripple across hundreds of miles. Spinning wind turbines, seemingly peaceful, are actually producing deep, constant vibrations. Jet engines, especially during takeoff or high-speed flight, emit these sounds too. And here's something truly fascinating. Elephants, yes, elephants, use infrasound to communicate over vast distances. You could stand right next to them and hear nothing, while another elephant 5 kilometers away picks up the message loud and clear. What if low-frequency sounds, the kind you can't hear with your ears, are quietly resonating around us all the time? Then what happens inside your brain when it hears something you're completely unaware of? When these infrasound waves travel through the air, they don't stop at your skin. They penetrate your body, creating tiny vibrations, subtle, but powerful enough to affect your brain and internal organs. In numerous studies, scientists have found that low-frequency sounds can gently shake brain tissue, leading to headaches, dizziness, or loss of balance, even though there's no obvious sound being played. But it goes even deeper. Infrasound directly impacts the alpha waves in your brain, the ones tied to focus, relaxation, and consciousness. The result? You struggle to concentrate, feel restless, or slip into a dreamy, unfocused state where your thoughts feel like they're drifting out of your control. Some people even experience mild hallucinations, like seeing shadowy figures, hearing distant whispers, or sensing that someone is standing right behind them. These seemingly supernatural sensations, they might actually be triggered by a wave you can't even hear. In some famous experiments, simply playing infrasound in a sealed room made people feel sudden fear, racing hearts, and sleeplessness all night long. You didn't hear the sound, but your body did, and it was sending a clear message to your brain. Something's not right. Be alert. That's why researchers often refer to infrasound as the sound of unease. What if low-frequency sound could quietly interfere with your brainwaves and disrupt your emotions, and you had to live with it every single day? In reality, many people have no idea they're being exposed to infrasound around the clock, from sources that seem completely ordinary, like ventilation fans, industrial compressors, electric motors, or HVAC systems in large buildings. These machines generate a kind of invisible, constant noise, one you can't clearly hear, but your body still reacts to it. The result? People start experiencing symptoms like chronic insomnia, persistent stress, elevated blood pressure, and even mild depression, without ever realizing what's behind it. In particular, residents living near airports, power plants, or wind farms report significantly higher rates of sleep disorders and anxiety than those in other neighborhoods. Take, for example, a small community in the central US, surrounded by wind turbines running day and night. Locals have spoken out about ringing in their ears, long-term sleep loss, and an unexplained feeling of unease. One resident described it like this: "At night, I don't hear anything, but I feel something vibrating in my chest. I can't sleep. I'm losing my mind." Researchers refer to this as noise annoyance, a form of subconscious sound irritation that keeps your brain on edge, even when your ears hear nothing at all. The real issue? Infrasound is difficult to measure with normal hearing or standard recording devices, and even harder to prove as the direct cause of mental health symptoms. But one thing is becoming increasingly clear. When the body is constantly bombarded by a wave it can't control, the brain starts to lose balance. After all the effects low-frequency sound can have, from headaches and insomnia to nervous tension, the big question is, can our bodies adapt to it? The answer is, some people can, but not everyone. Just like our reactions to bright lights or strong smells, sensitivity to infrasound depends on each individual's biology. Some people are hardly affected at all, while others may experience dizziness, anxiety, or even sleep disturbances after just a few days of exposure. So, if you ever feel like you're hearing something your ears can't pick up, here are a few ways to protect yourself. 1. Soundproof your living space. First and most importantly, optimize soundproofing in your home, especially if you live near industrial zones, airports, or wind turbines. Materials like multi-layered glass, thick walls, and acoustic curtains can significantly reduce the amount of low-frequency sound that penetrates through your windows and walls and into your body. 2. Limit exposure time. Avoid spending too much time near devices that emit constant low-frequency hums, such as industrial compressors, large ventilation fans, or electrical equipment. Even if you can't hear it, prolonged exposure can have a real impact on your nervous system and sleep quality. 3. Recover with healing sounds. An interesting way to rebalance your system is through sound therapy, like solfeggio frequencies, natural soundscapes, or gentle rain, flowing water, and birdsong. These types of sounds help calm the mind, stabilize brainwaves, and promote natural relaxation. In addition, meditation, deep breathing, and consistent sleep routines are effective ways to reset your nervous system and help your body adapt when living in an environment filled with invisible noise. The truth is, we may never be able to fully eliminate low-frequency sound from our modern world, but we can learn to understand it, recognize it, and equip ourselves with invisible shields to protect our health and mental clarity each day. You might be feeling tired, sleepless, or constantly stressed, and you think, it's probably work, the pressure, or a lack of sleep. But what if the real culprit is something you can't even hear? Throughout this video, we've explored a strange world of sound, where noise doesn't make a sound, yet still causes powerful reactions in your brain, emotions, and body. They don't blast loudly, but they can still affect your brain waves, heart rate, sleep, and emotions. Every day, every hour, little by little. So, start paying attention to your surroundings, because sometimes the exhaustion you're experiencing doesn't come from a looming deadline, but from invisible vibrations you never even noticed. If you found this topic fascinating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to discover more scientific secrets. Thanks for watching.